The mind is a powerful force, yet often it's our greatest adversary. Every day, millions of people wake up feeling overwhelmed, their thoughts racing before their feet even hit the floor. This mental chaos isn't just uncomfortable. It's stealing our peace, sapping our productivity, and holding us back from reaching our true potential. But it doesn't have to be this way. With the right approach, we can transform our minds from sources of stress into wellsprings of calm and clarity. This transformation isn't about suppressing our thoughts or achieving some perfect state of Zen. It's about developing the skills to navigate our mental landscape with purpose and grace. Think of your mind as a garden. Left unattended, weeds of worry and doubt will quickly take over. But with consistent care and the right techniques, you can cultivate a lush, vibrant space where peace and productivity thrive side by side. This journey of mental discipline isn't always easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. When we learn to direct our thoughts rather than be directed by them, we unlock new levels of focus, creativity, and resilience. We become better equipped to handle life's challenges and more open to its joys. The path to mental discipline begins with a simple yet profound shift in perspective. Our thoughts are not facts. They're not commands we must obey. They're simply mental events, like clouds passing through the sky of our consciousness. We can observe them, learn from them, but we don't have to be controlled by them. This realization is liberating. It gives us the space to step back from the constant chatter in our heads and choose which thoughts deserve our attention. It's the first step in reclaiming our mental real estate from anxiety, self-doubt, and unproductive rumination. But understanding alone isn't enough. To truly discipline our minds, we need practical strategies. Daily habits that train our mental muscles just as we would train our bodies at the gym. One of the most powerful of these strategies is mindfulness. At its core, mindfulness is about bringing our full attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about experiencing life as it unfolds rather than getting lost in a maze of what ifs and should haves. Mindfulness might sound simple, but it's a skill that requires practice. Our minds are habituated to wander, to jump from thought to thought like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. Mindfulness teaches us to gently guide our attention back to the here and now, whether we're eating a meal, having a conversation, or tackling a work project. The benefits of cultivating mindfulness are far-reaching. Research has shown that regular mindfulness practice can reduce stress, sharpen focus, improve emotional regulation, and even boost our immune system. But perhaps most importantly, it helps us break free from the tyranny of our thoughts, allowing us to respond to life with intention rather than react on autopilot. To start incorporating mindfulness into your daily life, begin with small, manageable practices. You might set aside 5 minutes each morning for a simple breathing meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus your attention on this sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. As you become more comfortable with this practice, you can extend the duration of your meditation or incorporate mindfulness into other aspects of your day. Try eating one meal mindfully, savoring each bite and noticing the flavors and textures. Or take a mindful walk, paying attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, and the sights and sounds around you. Remember, the goal of mindfulness isn't to clear your mind of all thoughts. That's not possible, nor is it desirable. The goal is to become aware of your thoughts and to develop the ability to choose where you place your attention. Mindfulness is a cornerstone mental discipline, but it's not the only tool at our disposal. Another crucial skill is learning to manage our inner dialogue, the constant stream of self-talk that shapes our perceptions and influences our actions. For many of us, this inner voice is often harsh and critical. It's the voice that tells us we're not good enough, that we'll never succeed, that we don't deserve happiness. Left unchecked, this negative self-talk can erode our confidence and hold us back from pursuing our dreams. Disciplining our minds involves recognizing these negative thought patterns and consciously reframing them. This doesn't mean adopting a Pollyanna-ish outlook or denying real challenges. It's about approaching ourselves and our circumstances with a more balanced, constructive perspective. For example, instead of thinking, I always mess things up, we can train ourselves to think I've made mistakes, but I've also had successes. What can I learn from this situation? This shift might seem subtle, but over time it can profoundly impact our self-esteem, motivation, and overall well-being. Reframing our thoughts takes practice and persistence. It's about catching ourselves in the act of negative self-talk and consciously choosing a more empowering narrative. Over time, this becomes more natural, and we find ourselves automatically gravitating towards more positive, productive ways of thinking. One effective technique for reframing negative thoughts is to challenge them with evidence. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, pause and ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have to support it? What evidence contradicts it? Often you'll find that your negative thoughts are based more on fear or past experiences than on current reality. Another powerful reframing technique is to ask yourself what you would say to a friend in the same situation. We're often much kinder and more understanding towards others than we are to ourselves. By imagining how we'd counsel a friend, we can access a more compassionate, balanced perspective on our own challenges. As you practice reframing, you'll begin to notice a shift in your overall outlook. You'll become more resilient in the face of setbacks, more confident in your abilities, and more open to new opportunities. This positive mindset is a crucial component of mental discipline, providing the foundation for growth and success in all areas of life. Another key aspect of mental discipline is learning to manage our emotions effectively. Emotions are a natural and important part of the human experience, but when left unchecked, they can hijack our thoughts and actions, leading to impulsive decisions and unnecessary stress. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is a crucial component of mental discipline. It starts with developing a greater awareness of our emotional states. Are we feeling anxious, angry, sad, excited? By naming our emotions, we begin to create some distance from them, making it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Once we've identified our emotions, we can employ strategies to regulate them. This might involve deep breathing exercises to calm anxiety, physical activity to channel anger productively, or seeking social support when we're feeling down. The key is to find healthy ways to process and express our emotions rather than suppressing them or letting them control us. One effective technique for managing intense emotions is the stop method. Stop what you're doing. Take a few deep breaths. Observe what you're thinking and feeling. Proceed with awareness. This simple technique can help you create a pause between an emotional trigger and your response, giving you the space to choose how you want to react. Cultivating emotional intelligence also involves developing empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. This not only improves our relationships, but also gives us valuable perspective on our own emotional experiences. To develop empathy, practice active listening in your conversations. Focus fully on what the other person is saying without planning your response. Try to put yourself in their shoes, imagining how they might be feeling. Ask questions to deepen your understanding. This practice of empathy not only strengthens your relationships, but also broadens your emotional vocabulary, making it easier to understand and manage your own feelings. As we work on these various aspects of mental discipline, mindfulness, positive self-talk, emotional intelligence, we begin to notice a shift. Our minds become less like stormy seas and more like calm lakes, reflecting the world around us with clarity and stillness. This inner peace doesn't mean we never experience negative thoughts or emotions. It means we have the tools to navigate them effectively, to maintain our equilibrium even in challenging circumstances. Lilah, a high-powered executive who felt burned out and on the verge of quitting her job, Lilah's mind was constantly racing with worries about deadlines, fears of failure, and regrets about not spending enough time with her family. She felt like she was always playing catch-up, never able to fully focus on any one task or truly be present with her loved ones. Lilah started by introducing short mindfulness exercises into her daily routine, even just a few minutes of focused breathing before important meetings. At first, she was skeptical, claiming she didn't have time to sit around doing nothing. But as she persisted, she noticed a change. Lilah found that she was able to approach her work with greater clarity and efficiency by learning to focus on one task at a time rather than trying to juggle multiple concerns simultaneously. She actually accomplished more in less time. Her improved focus and productivity freed up more quality time for her family, reducing her feelings of guilt and allowing her to be fully present during those precious moments. She also worked on reframing her negative self-talk. Instead of berating herself for every small mistake or perceived shortcoming, she learned to approach herself with compassion and curiosity. This shift in perspective not only improved her self-esteem, but also made her a more effective leader as she began to approach her team members with the same empathy and understanding. Over time, Lilah developed a toolbox of strategies to manage her stress and maintain her mental equilibrium. When faced with a challenging situation, she would take a moment to breathe deeply and ground herself in the present moment. She learned to recognize her emotional triggers and developed healthy ways to process difficult feelings. The transformation in Lilah's life was remarkable. Not only did her work performance improve, but she also reported feeling more fulfilled both professionally and personally. She no longer felt at mercy of her racing thoughts and overwhelming emotions. Instead, she felt in control, able to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Lilah's story illustrates the profound impact that mental discipline can have on our lives, but it's important to remember that this transformation didn't happen overnight. It was the result of consistent practice and commitment to personal growth. This brings us to another crucial aspect of mental discipline, patience and persistence. Just as we wouldn't expect to transform our physical fitness after a single workout, we can't expect to master our minds in a day or a week. Mental discipline is a lifelong journey, one that requires ongoing effort and dedication. There will be days when it feels challenging, when our old thought patterns reassert themselves, or when we struggle to stay present in the face of stress. This is normal and to be expected. The key is to approach our practice with self-compassion, recognizing that setbacks are not failures but opportunities for learning and growth. One way to maintain motivation on this journey is to keep a journal of your progress. Each day, jot down one thing you did to practice mental discipline, no matter how small. Perhaps you took a few mindful breaths before a stressful meeting, or caught yourself in negative self-talk and successfully reframed your thoughts. Over time, you'll be able to look back and see how far you've come, which can be incredibly encouraging during challenging periods. It's also important to remember that mental discipline isn't about achieving some perfect state of constant calm and positivity. It's about developing the skills to navigate the full range of human experiences. The joys and the sorrows, the triumphs and the challenges, with greater ease and grace. Our relationships improve as we become more present and empathetic. Our work becomes more fulfilling as we approach it with focus and purpose. We find ourselves better able to pursue our goals and dreams, no longer held back by self-doubt or fear of failure. Moreover, we develop a greater sense of inner peace and contentment. We learn to find joy in the simple moments of life, to appreciate the beauty that surrounds us every day. We become less reactive to external circumstances and more grounded in our own sense of self-worth and purpose. This inner stability becomes particularly valuable when we face life's inevitable challenges. Consider the story of Michael, a small business owner who faced a period of economic downturn. Michael's business was struggling, and he was consumed with worry about the future. His anxiety was affecting his sleep, his relationships, and his ability to make clear decisions about his business. Through practicing mental discipline, Michael learned to approach his challenges with a clear mind. He used mindfulness to stay grounded in the present moment rather than getting lost in catastrophic predictions about the future. He learned to reframe his negative thoughts, seeing the economic downturn not just as a threat, but also as an opportunity to innovate and adapt his business model. Michael also developed strategies to manage his stress and anxiety. He incorporated regular exercise into his routine, finding that physical activity helped clear his mind and boost his mood. He practiced visualization techniques, imagining positive outcomes for his business and reinforcing his belief in his ability to navigate challenges. Perhaps most importantly, Michael learned to separate his sense of self-worth from the performance of his business. He recognized that while his work was important to him, it didn't define him as a person. This shift in perspective allowed him to approach his business challenges with greater clarity and creativity, free from the paralyzing fear of failure. As Michael applied these mental discipline techniques, he not only weathered the economic storm, but emerged stronger. He made strategic changes to his business, diversifying his offerings and reaching new markets. His improved focus and decision-making skills helped him seize opportunities that he might have missed when his mind was clouded by anxiety. Moreover, Michael found that his relationships improved. By managing his stress more effectively, he was able to be more present and supportive with his family and employees. His newfound mental resilience inspired confidence in those around him, creating a positive ripple effect throughout his personal and professional life. Michael's story demonstrates how mental discipline can be a powerful tool in navigating life's challenges. It doesn't make our problems disappear, but it equips us with the mental and emotional resources to face them head on, to find creative solutions, and to maintain our well-being in the process. As we cultivate mental discipline, we also develop a greater sense of personal power. We realize that while we can't always control external circumstances, we always have control over our response to them. This shift from a reactive to a proactive mindset is incredibly empowering. We stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start recognizing our role as creators of our own experience. We learn to take responsibility for our thoughts, emotions, and actions, understanding that these are the tools with which we shape our lives. This sense of personal power extends to how we pursue our goals and dreams. Mental discipline gives us the focus to clarify what we truly want in life, the courage to pursue it, and the resilience to persist in the face of obstacles. We become better at setting meaningful goals that align with our values and aspirations. Rather than scattering our energy on multiple fronts, we learn to prioritize what's truly important to us. We develop the ability to break down big goals into manageable steps, maintaining our motivation and momentum over the long haul. One effective technique for goal setting is to use the SMART criteria. Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like I want to be healthier, you might set a SMART goal, like I will exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week for the next 3 months. Once you've set your goals, use visualization techniques to reinforce your commitment. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself achieving your goals in vivid detail. What does it look like? How does it feel? This practice not only boosts your motivation, but also helps your subconscious mind align with your conscious desires. Moreover, mental discipline helps us develop the grit and perseverance necessary to achieve our goals. We learn to see setbacks not as failures, but as valuable feedback, opportunities to learn and grow. We develop the mental toughness to push through challenges, to keep going when things get tough. This resilience is particularly valuable in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world. The ability to adapt, to stay focused on our goals, even as circumstances shift around us, is becoming increasingly crucial for success in all areas of life. One way to build resilience is to practice reframing setbacks. When you face a disappointment or a failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger or wiser? What new opportunities might this open up? By approaching challenges with a growth mindset, you turn obstacles into stepping stones on your path to success. But perhaps the most profound benefit of mental discipline is the inner peace it cultivates. This isn't a passive state of inaction, but a dynamic equilibrium, a calm center from which we can engage with the world effectively and joyfully. This inner peace allows us to fully appreciate the present moment, to find joy in the simple pleasures of life. We become less driven by external validation and more in tune with our own inner sense of purpose and worth. We develop a deep sense of contentment that isn't dependent on achieving specific outcomes or acquiring material possessions. To cultivate this inner peace, practice gratitude daily. Each evening, reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big or small, from a major achievement at work to the warmth of sunlight on your face. This practice shifts your focus from what's lacking in your life to the abundance that's already present. Another powerful practice is to regularly engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, regardless of their practical value. This might be painting, gardening, playing music, or simply taking a walk in nature. These activities help us connect with our authentic selves and remind us that life is meant to be enjoyed, not just endured. They provide a vital counterbalance to the often demanding nature of our daily responsibilities. When we make time for these soul-nourishing activities, we're not being selfish or unproductive. On the contrary, we're recharging our mental and emotional batteries, which ultimately enhances our overall well-being and productivity. These moments of joy and self-expression are essential for maintaining our mental discipline in the long run. Consider establishing a regular joy practice in your life. Set aside time each week, or even each day if possible, for activities that bring you genuine pleasure and fulfillment. Treat this time as sacred, just as you would an important work meeting or family commitment. By prioritizing joy, you're reinforcing the idea that your mental and emotional well-being is a crucial part of your life, not just an afterthought. As we cultivate this inner peace and joy, we become better equipped to handle life's inevitable stresses and challenges. We develop a kind of emotional resilience that allows us to bounce back more quickly from setbacks and maintain our equilibrium in the face of adversity. This resilience doesn't mean we never feel upset or stressed. Rather, it means we have the tools to process these difficult emotions more effectively and return to a state of balance more quickly. We're less likely to be knocked off course by every obstacle we encounter. One way to build this resilience is through the practice of mental contrasting. This involves vividly imagining a desired outcome, then consciously considering the obstacles that might stand in your way. By doing this, you're preparing your mind to face challenges rather than being blindsided by them. You're also reinforcing your commitment to your goals by acknowledging the effort they'll require. For example, if your goal is to start a new business, you might spend some time visualizing your successful company, feeling the pride and satisfaction of achieving your dream. Then you'd consider potential obstacles, financial constraints, market competition, or your own self-doubt. By acknowledging these challenges up front, you can start developing strategies to overcome them, rather than being discouraged when you inevitably encounter difficulty. This practice of mental contrasting helps bridge the gap between our aspirations and reality. It combines the motivational power of positive thinking with the practical benefits of planning and problem solving. It's a key component of mental discipline, allowing us to pursue our goals with both optimism and realism. As we develop greater mental discipline, we often find that our relationships improve as well. When we're more in control of our thoughts and emotions, we're better able to communicate effectively, empathize with others, and navigate conflicts constructively. One aspect of this is improved emotional regulation. When we're not at the mercy of our emotional reactions, we're less likely to lash out at others in moments of stress or frustration. We can take a breath, step back, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or always maintaining a facade of calm. Rather, it means being able to express our feelings in healthy, constructive ways. We can communicate our needs and boundaries clearly without resorting to aggression or passive aggression. And moreover, as we become more aware of our own thought patterns and emotional triggers, we often develop greater empathy for others. We recognize that everyone is fighting their own inner battles just as we are. This understanding can lead to more compassionate, patient interactions with the people in our lives. Practice active listening in your conversations. Really focus on what the other person is saying rather than just waiting for your turn to speak. Try to understand not just their words, but the emotions and needs behind those words. This kind of deep listening can transform your relationships, creating stronger connections and mutual understanding. Another powerful tool for improving relationships is the practice of loving kindness meditation. This involves consciously cultivating feelings of love and goodwill towards others, starting with yourself and gradually extending to friends, neutral acquaintances, and even people you find difficult. Begin by sitting comfortably and focusing on your breath. Then silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe," "May I live with ease." After a few minutes, shift your focus to a loved one, repeating the same phrases for them. Gradually expand the circle of well-wishing to include more and more people. This practice might feel awkward or forced at first, but over time, it can profoundly shift your attitude towards others. You may find yourself becoming more patient, more understanding, and more inclined to give others the benefit of the doubt. This shift in perspective can have a powerful positive impact on all your relationships. As we cultivate mental discipline and inner peace, we also become better equipped to contribute positively to the world around us. Our increased self-awareness and emotional intelligence make us better friends, partners, parents, and colleagues. We're able to listen more deeply, communicate more effectively, and respond to others with greater empathy and understanding. Our mental clarity and focus allow us to be more productive and creative in our work, enabling us to make meaningful contributions in our chosen fields. Our resilience and adaptability make us valuable team members and leaders able to navigate challenges and inspire others. Furthermore, as we learn to manage our own minds more effectively, we become living examples for others. Our calm presence in the face of stress, our ability to maintain perspective in challenging situations, our capacity for joy and gratitude. All of these qualities have a positive ripple effect on those around us. How you can use your growing mental discipline to make a positive impact in your community. This might involve volunteering for a cause you care about, mentoring someone who could benefit from your experience, or simply being a supportive presence for friends and family going through difficult times. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to practice and demonstrate mental discipline. Whether you're dealing with a frustrating customer service situation, navigating a disagreement with a loved one, or facing a major life challenge, you have the power to choose your response. By responding with patience, empathy, and wisdom, you're not only improving your own life, but also contributing to a more compassionate world. Mental discipline. It's important to remember that it's not about achieving perfection. We're not aiming for a state of constant bliss or unwavering focus. Such a goal would not only be unrealistic, but also potentially harmful, as it could lead to feelings of failure or inadequacy when we inevitably fall short. Instead, mental discipline is about progress, not perfection. It's about developing the ability to navigate the full spectrum of human experience with greater ease and grace. It's about building resilience so that we can bounce back more quickly from setbacks. It's about cultivating self-awareness so that we can make conscious choices rather than being driven by unconscious habits and reactions. One way to reinforce this mindset of progress over perfection is to regularly reflect on your growth. At the end of each week or month, take some time to consider how you've applied mental discipline in your life. What challenges do you face? How did you respond? What did you learn? By acknowledging your progress, you reinforce your commitment to this journey and motivate yourself to keep growing. It's also crucial to approach this practice with self-compassion. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns of thinking or behaving. When this happens, resist the urge to berate yourself. Instead, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a good friend. Acknowledge the slip-up, learn from it if you can, and then recommit to your practice. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to begin again. Each breath is a chance to return to the present, to choose your focus, to realign with your values and intentions. This is the true power of mental discipline. Not that we never falter, but that we always have the ability to start anew. As you progress on this journey, you may find that your definition of success and happiness begins to shift. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that happiness comes from external achievements, a certain job title, a particular income level, a specific type of relationship. But as we develop greater mental discipline and inner peace, we often discover that true fulfillment comes from within. We begin to value experiences over possessions, growth over stagnation, connection over competition. We find joy in the process of living, rather than constantly postponing our happiness to some future point when we've achieved all our goals. This shift doesn't mean we stop striving or growing. On the contrary, we may find ourselves more motivated than ever to pursue our aspirations. The difference is that we're driven by an intrinsic desire for growth and contribution, rather than by fear, insecurity, or the need for external validation. We become more aligned with our authentic selves, more in tune with our true values and desires. We're less swayed by societal expectations or others' opinions of what we should do or be. This authenticity is incredibly liberating and can lead to a profound sense of peace and contentment. It's worth considering how you can integrate these practices into your daily life. The key is to start small and build consistently. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Instead, choose one or two practices that resonate with you and commit to incorporating them into your routine. Perhaps you'll start with a 5-minute mindfulness practice each morning. Or maybe you'll focus on reframing negative thoughts as they arise throughout the day. You might commit to a daily gratitude practice or set aside time each week for activities that bring you joy. Whatever you choose, approach it with patience and persistence. Remember, you're developing new mental habits and this takes time. Be consistent in your practice, but also be flexible. If one approach isn't working for you, don't be afraid to try something different. Also, consider seeking support on this journey. This might involve sharing your goals with a trusted friend or family member who can encourage you and hold you accountable. You might join a meditation group or take a class on mindfulness or emotional intelligence. Some people find it helpful to work with a therapist or life coach who can provide personalized guidance and support. Remember, the goal of mental discipline isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts or emotions. It's not about achieving a state of constant happiness or tranquility. Life will always have its ups and downs, its challenges and disappointments. The aim of mental discipline is to develop the skills to navigate these experiences with greater ease and resilience. It's about creating a sense of inner stability that allows you to remain grounded even when the world around you is in chaos. It's about developing the clarity to make wise choices, the courage to pursue your dreams, and the compassion to treat yourself and others with kindness. As you continue on this journey of mental discipline, you'll likely find that its benefits extend far beyond your own life. As you become more centered, more compassionate, more resilient, you'll naturally have a positive impact on those around you. Your calm presence in the face of stress, your ability to listen deeply and communicate clearly, your capacity for joy and gratitude, all of these will inspire and uplift others. In this way, the practice of mental discipline becomes not just a personal journey, but a way of contributing to a better world. By cultivating peace within yourself, you become a source of peace for others. By developing the ability to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and compassion, you create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Embark on this journey of mental discipline with passion and determination. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Remember that every small step counts, every moment of mindfulness matters, every act of self-compassion is significant. You have within you the power to transform your mind, to cultivate inner peace, to live with greater purpose and fulfillment. The path of mental discipline offers you the tools to unlock this potential. It's a journey that requires patience, persistence, and courage, but the rewards are beyond measure. I invite you to make a commitment to yourself. Choose one practice we've discussed, whether it's mindfulness, reframing negative thoughts, practicing gratitude, or something else, and pledge to incorporate it into your daily life. Start small. Be consistent, and watch as these small changes begin to transform your mental landscape. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, you've taken that step. You've opened yourself to the possibility of greater mental discipline, of deeper inner peace. Now, it's up to you to continue this journey, one breath, one thought, one moment at a time. Thank you for your attention and openness. May your path be filled with growth, discovery, and ever-deepening peace.